It's Sunday, April 19th, 2015, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm goldmourn, Amber Dawn, and this video is going to be about what if BookTube had existed when I was in high school. Clearly, I'm a little older than the general age of BookTube people. And I've thought about this a lot over the year, since I fell down into BookTube and started watching it a couple of years ago now. It was in September, I know that. Since then, I've thought about, why didn't this exist when I was younger? I mean, I loved to read. All growing up, I was in library club, as in I worked in the library and was a nerd for books. And I always loved to read. I did book reports when they weren't required. I read in the hallway. I read walking places. I read a lot of books. I didn't keep track of them until a friend of mine, who was also a book lover, did as an adult. She kept this list on LiveJournal, and then I did it the following year, a year later than her, as far as online. She may have kept track before then, but I only started about, I forget, early 2000s. So I've kept track for 13 years of what books I've read. It's not that impressive, don't worry. But I mean, it's something I've done. Smack. What day, what the book is, who it was by, what date I read it, like finished it. Because sometimes I'll have a number of books finished around the same time. It just, if I was reading one of them. I'm just smacking this thing around, sorry about that. Anyway, I do that, but I've thought, well, it's such a popular, cool thing now, BookTube. I mean, it's to the point where people have made enough money that they could, go to big cities and earn some income from it and be a part of YouTube's success and whatnot, all because they love books, and read them and whatnot. Anyway, I just think, wow, that's quite the change from when I was a kid. And then I wondered, well, how would it be for me if BookTube existed back when I was a kid, or the internet, or anything? How would it have been for me? And I don't know that I like the answer at all. Because if I'm essentially still me, with the same circumstances growing up, I probably wouldn't have been able to be on BookTube. And if I did have the internet and whatnot, I keep saying whatnot, I definitely did not have the income or background to be able to afford to buy lots of books. So I definitely would have been a library person, except if I was still living on the farm, then I definitely wouldn't be. I don't see me being able to have participated in BookTube when I was younger because of financial circumstances, and I wouldn't have had a computer that could have done this. I wouldn't have had a phone. My 20s, early 20s, I could have gotten into it, especially when I was on my own. I mean, I was struggling with issues related to health in the workplace, the job I'd had. But it would have been a great outlet. And then I could have actually, if BookTube had existed then, I could have really gotten into it. But then again, I was on YouTube and I had opportunities to become a a vlogger. Like, I could have vlogged, and I didn't because I didn't have certain things. Anyway, if we discount the fact that I probably still wouldn't have been able to be a booktuber the way that people can today, the opportunities they have, even, wow, it's very windy out, just so you know. Let's put the window closed. Let's forget all that depressing crap and think, well, okay, if BookTube had existed, it's so strange to think, but popular person we were reading was John Grisham, A Time to Kill, and The Pelican Brief, and all that. He was starting to churn out books, so I was there at the beginning of that. And we were excited about every book he had coming out for a little while, and then I was over it. I think when the client, I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, I get it. You write a lot of books. I'm kind of over it. But the first few books, very much excitement with my friend. And fantasy-wise, I know there's a big fantasy base. It was the Sword of Truth series, which started out really great. I think I still have the first book somewhere. Like, I think my fantasy's tucked down under there. The Sword of Truth series. Now, I think about how it would have been for, like, these days. You know, people get really excited about, especially with the fantasy series and YA, youth novels, whatever. But we just call them books and fantasy or sci-fi or whatever. But anyway, I think about how that could have been exciting in today, but then I also got sick of reading them after a few books, because, you know, when the writers just, you know, that kind of died out. I think about other books that would have been very popular. There's so many good books. You know, it was different. You know, we discovered books. We had book clubs that were, you could order books. Like, this is when I started to do well. I think it was when I was working or with my small allowance. I don't know. It had to have been when I was working, but I don't remember. For a brief time, there was, you could get books in the mail. Oh, I know, this sounds like really crazy. Not Amazon, though. It was, you would get, what are they called? Pamphlets, whatever, some sort of booklet, and it would have their books of the month and books you could order. And there was a regular book club, and I think there was a sci-fi fantasy book club as well. I don't remember. I'm so old now, old and feeble. And you'd order it, and then you'd get the books in the mail, kind of like Columbia House. Again, some of you guys may not understand that reference. That was music now, and movies as well. And you'd order them, and it'd come to you in the mail. Great for if you lived in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, now all those things are gone, and we've got Amazon, and you can order from, let's say, Indigo. I like Indigo because then I feel like I'm supporting a bookstore instead of Amazon. But then my preference, like most lovers of books and or music, etc., is to be able to go to a store that sells the books and whatnot. Yeah, bookstores still suck me in. I think I had an access to something like, I forget how to quote him, but something about how a bookstore would suck me and make me disappear or something. I don't know. Something like that. Like, watch, if I'm walking behind you and suddenly I'm gone, look for a bookstore. There's probably one there, and that's where I went. Just like everybody was. So anyway, back in my day, would BookTube have been, you know what, I think of the booktubers I've watched who have used the library and created a channel and have been able to do that. I think, well, if I lived inside of town like I do again, yeah, I could totally see myself doing that. And I always loved photography. I always took film photography, so if I'd had the option to have a camera that could have, see, so many things, this is the only time BookTube could have happened, which is crazy. And I feel kind of jilted. I'm sorry. I know I'm old enough now, and that there are people even older than me. Oh my goodness. But I was gonna say Methuselah, but I wondered if I'd say the word wrong. People of that age, they're making YouTube videos for BookTube. It's not like I'm too old to do it. I just have this when I was younger, it would have been so great for someone like me if I'd had the ability. I could have talked about books I loved. I could have not felt like such a isolated dork. But then again, I've seen it, and it does seem to be kind of a popularity contest, which happens regardless in any thing that forms. There's groups of people that cluster together. It just happens, and people who can relate to each other or collaborate because of their commonalities and their age and their backgrounds or looks or whatever. It happens just like it would have in school, and I probably would have been just me. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm not jealous of people's success with BookTube. I think go get it. Get it. Just like other things on YouTube that I've watched unfold over the years, because I've been watching YouTube for a long time. As soon as it, started to get interesting, I've seen it. Well, before it got interesting. I remember when normal everyday people's videos would appear on the page of popular, because it went by what we, the people, found on YouTube and we're watching, not by, all the sponsorships or stupid stuff. But anyway, I keep losing my tangent of thought. Sorry, but it's been so long since I've just vlogged, and I guess it's just a vlog. And if you've listened this long, awesome. I just swore at you, didn't I? I'm so sorry. Awesome. I was just in the UK not too long ago, and it's horrible. Yeah. See, I would have been awkward and horrible at this, and probably would have made too many videos, or, I don't know. Gotten really excited about books, certain ones. Oh, and if the, see, having a friend that, I was so excited when I read a book of poems by Emily Dickinson. I'm a big poetry lover. You can't see them on those shelves because they're on shelves over there. I've got shelves there and there going around. This is my book room. I'm an adult now, so I can have a book room. Also, it would have really cluttered up the living room. And my husband and I kind of wanted to let him have a little place out there, and my records are in the living room too. Yeah, I'm kind of really, okay, so I've got books here, and books there, 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 right? You can see that I'm a Tolkien fan. And Harry Potter, you see which editions I have. I'm in Canada, But this isn't even how I would want to set up my place, because I've got a mess of crap right in front. Not crap, but I'm not quite organized. These aren't organized over there, and those aren't organized, and piles to be read is right there, but I have a whole bunch to be read everywhere. Look at that, what I got. That's like reminding me of being a library club nerd. Remember? I was there before we started doing the electronic. I was there the year the high school got the electronic zapping laser system. But before that, I remember doing it the other way. Yeah. I don't know if that's something to be proud of or sad about. Okay, so library was a nice refuge for me, and now I can only hear half of myself, which is probably good, but okay. Seriously. I don't even know why I picked this filter, because I don't think it's really doing much. Plastic camera. I wonder what will happen if I filter over it with YouTube. If I filter over the plastic camera. Okay, so you can see some of my interests there, though. My paper journals. I love paper journaling. That's kind of what I do. I've been doing it since I was 11 or so. 10, 11. And I'm trying to do it regularly every day now. I have done so since October 1st, 2014, but I am terrible at it. I have lost some of that. You get older and you go through some stuff, and it can be difficult. You can lose some stuff or find it hard to get it back. But I'm trying. This is the book I'm currently reading, a book I bought in Ireland. I think they stocked it because she's compared to James Joyce, but there's no real correlation except for a quote so far. But I'm finding her to be interesting. It's so neat that it says like euros or pounds. Anyway, I've got a couple books there. I've got so many books like to be read. I've thought of making the book haul videos, but then I got really embarrassed for a while there because I spent a lot on books in the past. Well, when my case was finally resolved, injury, workplace thing, I started getting a lot of books and more, and I think I had so many books that I ordered that I got really embarrassed, and I didn't want to do a book haul of that, because I was really embarrassed. Yeah. Even though I noticed that's a pretty popular thing. I'd even be embarrassed about like some of those books and the blank paper journals and stuff. Like book hauling and all the poetry that I got last year would have been so awesome for a book haul video. Oh yeah, I'll try and show you. I don't think I can. No. Almost. There's a bookcase right there. You're starting to see a glimpse of it. That's like all poetry. So I'm a big poetry lover. Where's I going with that? Oh, I'm breaking things. Sorry. This is clearly not an ASMR video. See, I'll do that again. Oh. Like seriously, all this is cool now? I'm a Who fan. Tom Baker was my first Doctor. But how come all the stuff that would have made me, that added to my nerdiness, is so freaking awesomely cool now? And it's definitely great to see, but I'm like, why now when I'm this age and it just makes me look like I'm a wannabe? Like records. Freaking records. I've had records all my life. I definitely got into collecting for myself when I was older, like a teen and whatnot. I would listen to records, and then now I can buy records brand new of artists I enjoy, which, is good. And I love it. I love that people are enthusiastic about vinyl. I've known it's awesome forever. But, like, now the cool kids are doing vinyl, and I'm like, I have a collection here. What? I sound kind of hipster, but I'm not, because I can't even be hipster. I'm not dressed like a hipster. I'm not. I missed that. I could have totally been an emo kid. That was before scene, right? It went emo, scene. Scene still exists, but there was hipster after scene. I think hipster was like kind of a development from emo, in my opinion, but maybe not. I think it went emo, scene. See, all these things, I just still feel kind of at heart like a, I don't know, 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. Sorry, guys. This is just a blog that probably no one will watch, but this is what I'm reading right now. This and a Canadian lit mag, poetry one. I have like, the ones I haven't read, I have subscriptions to them, and they're over there in front of my zine collection. Yeah, I have zines. Zines, Z-I-N-E-S, are awesome, and I've got a huge collection of them since the early 2000s, and I'm so glad I got to figure out what those were. But I wish I'd known what those were when that was another regret. I wish I'd known what those were when I was in high school, because as writing outlet, and yeah, I never got to be in on things. And maybe that's why I'm reluctant to actually jump into something like BookTube. Because I feel like, well, you know, I don't know. Maybe I have to let go of what could have been, you know, regarding it. And that a lot of things didn't exist when I was a kid that exist now. But I had a lot of other things that kids now don't exactly get to experience. So, good and bad. So, that's just how it is. Boy, I sound like an old person, but I'm really not. And there's no excuse for me not to make BookTube videos if I want to. I like to read. I've read a lot of books. I enjoy classics, new books, controversial books, science fiction, nonfiction, everything, poetry, letters, and journals by other people are favorites of mine. Political and whatnot. Some of my favorite books go back way back, but I'm always discovering new books that I enjoy. I have so many favorites, it's hard to make a favorite list, but I can make that in a video sometime. And I think it's great that that there's a lot of enthusiasm for books. Like, I never doubted that books are going to stick around. I'm not against Kindles or no anything. I understand the whole thing. I mean, I have, oh gosh, that was going to make a lot of noise. I have my iPad right here. I totally get reading on things. I mean, I use my phone a lot. Oh, see. Story with Doctor Who. I totally get it. I think it's a matter of preference, but I also think books are not going out of style. They never have, they never will. And I'm so excited that, and I keep telling people, but they don't know what I'm talking about. I keep saying that BookTube, people on YouTube, have a huge impact on the fact that books are back in a big way, that their sales are starting to outnumber, and that some bookstores are, you know, little ones at least, even if they're independents, are starting to try and come back if they're catering to a specific taste and they have more focus. I mean, this stuff's coming back because people do like collecting things. We're kind of we're all hoarders. But anyway, we like, books are tangible, beautiful things, and maybe I didn't make mine look so great. I got more bookshelves so that I wouldn't have to pile my books, but if you still get a lot of books, you kind of have to pile them. I don't want to. I'd rather they all be like that way, but yeah, not gonna have pretty bookshelves, but those are pretty bookshelves as far as the shelves themselves. I was really surprised. Got them at Canadian Tire. They're actually really wonderful. Okay, so where was I going with that? I think that book sales are very much affected because young people are really into it, just like vinyl. I was not surprised when vinyl really started taking off to the point of, there's no doubt there's a renaissance in vinyl. It did not surprise me because I thought of all the people that were starting to get into it, like young people. Well, they do steer taste as well. It's not all influence from, they have to listen to what we want, you know. If only we wanted more, if only we could have more influence on other things that matter just besides things we want to consume or own or have. I wish that we could have more influence on the type of world we want. I think we've learned we can, but we don't quite, doesn't affect the pocketbook quite as much. So that's going into a different tangent, but clearly this is a powerful medium, and I'm excited about it. And a 26 or 27 or half-hour video isn't going to endear me to BookTube. But I'm going to put this up as a vlog for myself and for anybody who just wants to hear me ramble about random stuff, thoughts about BookTube. I know I was all over the place, but I didn't rehearse it, and I ran out of tea like a while ago. That affected things. Running out of tea. You can't do that. I mean, then I can't do the shot that people do on BookTube. Sorry. I think it's adorable, don't worry. Coffee or tea. Cappuccino. I want a cappuccino, actually. Okay, so BookTube. I love BookTube. I've been watching it for a few years now. I'm shy, but not really, but I am. Does that make any sense? So, I haven't been on. I'm really insecure about, I have very bad self-body image. Yeah, you get to hear me scratching my head. Don't worry, it's actually clean hair, but I don't know, I'm getting all whatever. I have really extremely bad body image, and self-esteem is like crap, okay? And I've let that stop me from making BookTube videos, as if my opinion doesn't matter just because of the way I might feel about how I look or how I might even look. No, it doesn't. And I've seen that on BookTube. I've seen people express themselves very well, or even not very well, but still get their point and their passion for books across. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to be all glamorous and pretty. Although I have to admit, I am as much attracted to watching videos because of the aesthetics of the video production and whatnot as anybody else. But that doesn't deter me from watching anybody, especially if they're showing like books that I'm interested in or curious about. I've made excuses for myself for not writing as deeply or as openly as I would like. I have made excuses for myself for not pursuing as many of the passions as I would like. And some of them are valid excuses and reasons. Some of it's valid. It's totally valid and understandable if you knew my past circumstances. But my life is going by at a quickening pace. Ever quickening. And I'm thinking, why am I stopping myself from doing things that I might enjoy just because of whatever? There are so many people that are like doing it anyway. And that's what I want to do. I want to do the things I enjoy and enjoy the things that I do regardless. Because time is short. No, it isn't. Time is not short. Time is kind of an inconsequential, not really definable thing that we just made up. But life can be short. It certainly feels shorter as you get older. Boy, old lady talk with goldmourn. So I think what I might do is start to make videos again, vlog like this, even if I feel really weird that I decide to wear a black shirt. You know what shirt it is, though? I'm just wearing a bra. It's not pretty, don't worry. It's not, well, the bra isn't pretty either, but I mean, I'm not doing this to brag, it's not. But what shirt I'm wearing, oh, you can't see, but it's a, see, I'm one of you. No, but see, I won NaNoWriMo last year. I didn't just buy the shirt because I won, or because I wanted to pretend I won. I actually wrote, in 2014, I wrote over 50,000 words in November. On the wall, on the post sliding closet doors, I have my winter certificate printed out. I wrote 30 days in agoraphobia. Oh yeah, I'm a recluse. Sorry. Anxiety, blah, blah, blah. I wrote that, but it was like not fiction. It wasn't made up. It was like my real life every day. But you know what? That was a start. I've never followed through with NaNoWriMo, and I've been signed up since, I don't know, 8 years ago or whatever, something like that. It said over 8 years or something. So, I wanted to do it. Oh, that brings me back around. I'm almost done talking. If you're still listening, I was going to say, say the secret code word, pineapple. But that's kind of, lame. But you could if you want. Pineapple is really yummy. Okay, so how did I find BookTube? It was NaNoWriMo a few years ago. Well, it is every year, but NaNoWriMo, and I found Katie Tastic. Is that how you say her name? She's doing very well. And I loved the playlist. I was watching her videos for NaNoWriMo. I noticed this whole BookTube thing. Loved her shelves. Clearly, I did not follow her example. But I loved her shelves, and I loved her enthusiasm for books and writing. But it was her NaNoWriMo videos that got me to find BookTube. Then once I found BookTube, I was like, holy crap, these are my people. But not really, but I wish. And then the whole topic of my video, which was supposed to be really brief, what if BookTube had existed in my time, only sort of depressed me because it probably would not have, well, it couldn't have. This was the only time it could exist, and I probably wouldn't have still been a part of it because of self-esteem and limited funds. And I wonder, though, if it would have helped my confidence. I don't know. I could ask myself that, but I've had the ability to make vlogs and videos for several years now, and I still have stopped myself from fully diving in. I don't want to be like that anymore. I'm getting older, and I don't want to stop myself anymore from things I enjoy. Like, I just don't want to. Not like, I don't want to be all out. I want to do everything I want. No, this is something very simple in a tangible way as well, to be part of the world. So anyway, if anybody else is old like me and can relate to thinking, even just if you thought, I wonder what it would have been like for me if BookTube had existed. If I hadn't been 11 years old, sitting in the hallway at school, reading the complete Lord of the Rings, like a nerd, people kicking me as walk over me. No, people didn't kick me when I was reading Lord of the Rings. Nuh-uh. You don't kick somebody carrying a big book like that. But if that hadn't been weird, and it would have been a cool thing, and then if I'd made videos and people were like, that's a girl who reads a lot of books, she makes videos, it's so cool. I mean, I can't even think about it. Could you? When I was a kid, that would not be something. It makes me laugh because, and then I cover up my teeth because I'm so embarrassed, but whatever. It's not even a thing. Like, it's. You know what? I'm glad that people have this now. And that there probably is still space for people that are of my age. And we can all share with each other and learn and read our books. And I just hope that there aren't people that feel left out now, whether from age or finances. Because I would have been one of the kids that can afford, let alone wouldn't have had a computer like this or cameras that could have done this. And not until I was like in my 20s. And even then, I got really distracted by Wow, you know what? BookTube could have changed my whole world if it existed back then. I wouldn't have probably been in that relationship, and I would have just BookTubed. That's a story for another day. No, I'm not going to tell that story. So, I'm going to end this video now because it's pretty long. This is not how I will generally make videos if I do decide to participate in BookTube more, aside from comments I've left over the years. This is more just a yakking vlog and a windy vlog. It looks like I'm pointing at my hallway, but I should actually be putting windy vlog, windy vlog, because the window is behind me, right? No, computer, it's that way. But, oh, isn't that trippy? The window's right there, but if I'm pointing there, I'm pointing in the back of my room. But the window is behind the computer, and the computer's right here. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm really out of practice with vlogging. Sorry. I'm a bit weird. I am really weird. That could have been another thing against me as a booktuber as a kid. But then again, maybe being weird would have been helpful. You know when you've talked so long that you're embarrassed about how long you talk, so you don't shut up, but you should? But you keep talking, and like time gets going and it gets really awkward? Yeah, that's kind of happening right now.